minutes after leaving the hospital, a
She
baby
had the
girl was
baby.
born.
Bruh. I think this is what they're talking about when it comes to black women and pregnancy in the hospitals, where there's a lot of negligence going on. But let's go ahead and check it out and see what's happening. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This channel, we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. It's your boy, Big Blue. So this is interesting. This is in Indiana. A mother who was pregnant apparently got discharged. She's pregnant. She got discharged and she gave birth on the side of the road. I don't know the detail. I don't know the full details. I just saw it and I'm like, yo, let's go ahead and check this out. So let's see exactly what was happening or why this happened.
First of all, no mother should suffer at one of the most important moments of her life, when her baby is born. I think that's why this story resonated with so many people this week. In a moment, you're going to hear the story directly from Mercedes Wells herself. She showed up at a hospital in Indiana expecting to get some help to deliver her baby. But after several hours, she was escorted out of the hospital. Her family recorded as she was leaving.
Several hours?
Okay. You want me to put the car?
The family says 8 minutes after leaving the hospital, a baby girl was born.
Bruh. No way. 8 minutes. 8 minutes? That's like a block, another block, a light, and another light is practically 8 minutes. And you had the baby in the car. That baby is fresh.
The hospital says they're now taking action. In a new statement from Franciscan Health Crown Point President and CEO Raymond Grady, he announced that first, the physician and nurse involved in Mercedes' care are no longer employed by the hospital. He also said cultural competency training has now been mandated for all labor and delivery staff.
What's cultural competency training?
And all pregnant patients leaving the labor and delivery unit will be examined by a physician before they leave the hospital. Grady called the videos difficult to watch. And he wrote, "We must fix what failed in our hospital so that no one experiences what happened to Mercedes Wells."
Okay, so now explain this to me. So people are gonna be like, oh, it was a white lady and a white physician, and they turned away the black couple, the black woman, and you have the CEO who's black, last name Grady. that doesn't mean anything. I was making a joke, but CEO was black, so there should be something in place, right? He's black. That means he should be out here. So what you are gonna call him an Uncle Tom? He's an Uncle Tom, and he don't care. He still got the white employees that don't know about the struggle, the stresses, and the mortality levels of that increased in black women when it comes to these things, and their bodies are different than the white person. I guess we would have to know what race, but I mean, this honestly just seems like a hospital issue thing. This is a hospital issue thing and a training thing to me. But let's keep on.
Mercedes Wells is with us now, along with her husband, Leon Wells, and their attorney, Cannon Lambert. Welcome to you all.
She
Mercedes,
looks familiar.
Let me start with your reaction to the announcement from the hospital that the doctor and nurse directly involved with your care are out.
First of all, it took a while, to get them to respond to us and to acknowledge what the facility had done to me.
And when they say that the doctor involved in your care is out, I read that you don't even know who this doctor is. You never met a doctor.
Exactly. Never seen her face. No doctor ever spoke or came into my room.
So let's start at the
So who? Excuse me. So nurses can discharge. Nurses can discharge. All nurses. Y'all let me know. All midwives. I think midwives is that what they're all called, or is it just a nurse at that point? I'm not sure. But y'all let me know in the description below. Are nurses able to discharge? Because how can you not see a doctor but you were discharged? I could have sworn only doctors can do that, and the nurses help you out. What am I missing?
beginning here. It's about midnight. Your contractions start. Tell me the story as you arrive at the hospital.
As I get to the hospital, they come down about 10 minutes later. First of all, I called ahead. I called maybe 20 minutes ahead before we got there. And when we got there, I still had to go through the questioning of, who my doctor was and all the details. When they came and got me, I was already 15 minutes
I'm not gonna hold you. This guy over here, he's scaring. Yo, he's scaring me, bro. Why you looking like that, and why you looking at me? Come on, man, chill out.
apart in my contractions. So I was already in active labor. She checked me. She told me that I was 3 centimeters dilated. My contractions began to get closer and closer as the day went on. She checked me again and she said she felt the baby's head, but I was still 3 centimeters after 6 hours of labor.
Oh,
Then she told me I had to be relieved from the hospital.
And
wait,
so when they told you you had to be released from the
why?
hospital, talk to me about the moment of conflict.
Wait. No. I don't understand. We were okay when we were having Marley. I had an idea that the contractions weren't there yet. And it's crazy because my wife thinks that I was going to sit here and let her suffer, but I was following exactly what, and again, I'm not a female. I'm not a female. I've never had a baby. I'm just following exactly what the doctor said. And the doctor said that the contractions had to be 3 minutes apart, at least 3 minutes apart or something like that. It was a couple years ago. I can't remember. They'll have to tell me again next time. Yeah. So my understanding was that, or from what they told me, it had to be a specific number. And I was laying in the bed with the foster boy that we had at the time, and I was listening because we were in a separate room. I was listening and I was hearing her contracting and her moaning and all that stuff, and it wasn't where she said it was. So I'm like, okay, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. What made us go to the hospital? What made us actually go to the hospital was that my wife was like, I don't feel the baby moving or anything like that. From what they said is that if you try to, drink cold water and stuff like that, it'll, tense up the baby a little bit, like a nice brisk falling on the baby, and then she'll start moving. And apparently Marley wasn't moving after she was drinking cold water. And so she was like, I'm concerned, we need to go. Apparently during that whole time that she's been pregnant, or at least the last time that we were at the doctor, I was unaware that the cord was wrapped around Marley's neck. I didn't know that. They took that information. They kept that information from me. So essentially they were going to send us back because they weren't there yet. But then the doctor came and was just like, oh no, we'll go ahead. And then we just, proceeded with the process, it seemed like. And then we were there for hours later. So for them to say this, she was only 3 centimeters. She was there for a couple of hours. The baby's head was breaching, and we're sending them home. That's crazy. The head is breaching. I could have sworn there was like methods that they could have done to open that thing up. What was going to do? Anyways, I'm done talking. Let's keep going.
Where you knew, because this is not your first child, this baby is coming. And they said, no, you have to leave. Talk to me about that conversation.
Yes, the nurse told me that I had to be discharged because I wasn't further along in my centimeters. And even though she could feel the baby head, I wasn't dilated more than 3 centimeters, but I
And
know
even then, the water broke. How? I'm so confused.
for a fact that had to be untrue because I couldn't feel her hand at that point when she checked me.
And Leon, you're there. You know that your wife is about to have this baby, and they say you've got to go. What's going through your mind?
None of this is making
When they
sense.
said we had to go, I didn't want to be there. Like, I know we wasn't wanted. I was concerned about the safety of my
This does
wife
not
and
make
my
sense.
child as they're saying that, even though I know my wife was in active labor. So I immediately, got myself together. I was very upset, but by God's grace, I was able to, keep a calm head and try to get my wife to the next location.
Well, the baby came before you got to that next location. Tell me about that, Leon.
That was a very stressful moment. I don't have any prior doctor experience. Um, I don't. No training. We in my truck, and it was just a very scary moment. I mean, I literally we was driving down the road, and I saw my wife. My wife is, pulling her pants down. She's like, "Babe, I gotta push. I gotta push." And as she's pulling her pants down, I see my child's head, and I
Traumatized.
was kind of freaking
That's not
out
his
at
first
the
child. Never
moment, but
mind.
I kind of gathered myself. And when I gathered myself, I literally kind of, I don't know. I just thought I needed to help. Like, I literally kind of help and put my fingers between my child's head, and I pulled as she pushed, and my baby came out. And
And so, Mercedes,
yeah,
how is the baby?
Maybe it
She's
looks good.
doing well now.
Okay, well, that's good to
Yeah.
hear. Kenneth, let me bring you in here. You are their attorney. You and the Wellses have called for action and accountability. I said at the top of the show that the nurse and the doctor are out. Does that separation, because we don't know
The
if they
nurse and
resigned or
the
if they were
doctor.
fired, they didn't clarify there. Does that satisfy that for you?
So I
No.
think it's important that we speak with clarity. It would be a good thing that they let us know that they have been fired, terminated. It would be a good thing that they let us know that the individuals who inserted themselves as employees in this situation get terminated also. They have a culture problem. And what it is, the only thing they can do in terms of addressing that is to stamp out those people who participated in this, watched this happen, and did nothing. We're looking to meet with them, and we're glad that they finally reached out to us. We're looking forward to that meeting. We want to understand when they say they failed in various ways, we want them to tell us how they failed, because I want to mesh that with what we believe they failed to do and make sure that we're on the same page so that the policies can be changed so that this doesn't happen anymore.
The policies change. Should I expect, or do you expect, there will be a lawsuit filed?
I think they have control over that. If they do what's right, then I know this family will be happy to see that they've done what's right. This family decided early on that they wanted to try and be a voice for people, not just themselves. And that's their goal.
I want to read just the last line from the statement from the president of this hospital. He says, "We've reached out to the family, and it's my hope to meet in person with them very soon." I hear from Kenan that is something that can happen. What do you want to come from that meeting, Mercedes?
I want change to come. Overall, the United States to be impacted so strongly that there is truly a change, and we see the change very soon.
Yeah, and there needs to be a change broadly, and I'm not speaking specifically about this hospital or case, but Black women have the highest rate of maternal mortality in the country. Latest numbers from the CDC: 50 per 100,000 live births, multiples of what we see for white mothers, Hispanic mothers. It's far worse in Indiana. 156 per 100,000 live births. That's according to the Indiana University and the state health department. In that context, Mercedes, how does the hospital's admitted failure inform the crisis we're seeing around the country?
Inform the crisis. They need to speak up. It's a huge disparity. Informing them that this is really a huge issue is step one, and now they have to seek action and make a change.
Mercedes, Leon, attorney Kenan Lambert, and your baby's name, are you?
That's what she looks like. She looked like my cousin. And y'all know exactly who I'm talking about for those of you that know. Oh man, interesting. This was recent, y'all. This was recent. Okay, so what is the issue here? What is happening? I mean, clearly it is what people are talking about. The mortality rate for Black women is higher. Well, that just begs the question, why is it higher? And why is it that we're not caring? I think that's probably one of the biggest things when it comes to these type of situations. And it isn't about inclusion. We're literally talking about people's lives, so we need to be we need to be aware as to why is it that these mortalities are happening. And I know that these hospitals should have these type of facts, this type of information. These type of studies should be available. Is it just too much to worry about? Cost too much to have Black people in the hospital when they, are more of a headache because, they're a little different from the white people? I don't understand. What is the reason that we keep having these situations? Apparently the same thing happened in Texas as well. How often this is happening, I'm not sure, but this is already crazy enough. I mean, I don't know. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. They didn't say whether the nurse was white. I think I saw a video or I saw an image where the woman in Texas, the nurse did look white. But I think it's just a matter of one of those things where we just need to be cognizant of the health and the research that's done when it comes to certain people. I'm not saying to be inclusive. This is just fact. You need to know your patients. This type of stuff is happening. Figure out why is it that it's happening, and make sure that your nurses and your doctors are aware that this is happening. I mean, it could have been a situation where the nurse literally told the doctor, yeah, she's dilating or she's not dilating as much. And the doctor's just like, all right, we'll send her home. Because like I said, I don't think you can be discharged by a nurse. I think the doctor has to discharge you. I could be wrong, but y'all let me know in the comment section. So with that being said, I would like my cousin to see this. Because I honestly don't know. I don't know what the situation is, what the protocol is. Should she have been left? If the head is breaching and she's not dilated enough, I think there are methods in place. I think if it comes to that point where the baby has to come out, then it will come to a C-section. Did it mention a C-section? I don't know. It seems like more conversations should have been had that is not being said, or maybe they weren't had. And then that's when we have issues. But yeah, guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Stats are up. If you guys didn't know before, you know now. Mortality rate is higher for Black women. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and ChatGPT this, because ChatGPT be pulling up some information, and I'm just curious, why or what factors causes birth mortality rate in Black women. All right. And we're not going to take this as fact. This is just information. We're going to take it with a grain of salt. And ChatGPT just looks at some stuff fairly quickly. Let's see. So here's a clear research supported breakdown on why Black women experience higher mortality rates. Black women are less likely to be listened to, taken seriously, or treated aggressively for symptoms. Many studies show pain complaints from Black patients are likely to be dismissed implicit. Oh, this is systemic bias and racism in healthcare. Okay, so this is one thing. Serena Williams had to insist repeatedly for a CT scan after telling doctors she was having a pulmonary embolism. She was initially ignored. Interesting. Delayed and poor quality of care. Black women, even higher income and higher education, still receive lower quality of care on average. Longer waiting times, less access to specialists, fewer hospitals, advanced maternity services is predominantly black neighborhoods. So that could have been the case here with Indiana. They about to get a whole lot of money now. So I know they moving. I know they moving now. Higher rates of pre-existing conditions, hypertension, diabetes, fibroids, chronic stress, cardiovascular disease, weathering chronic stress from racism, long-term stress effects, heart functions, blood pressure, immune system, placental development. This causes risk for preeclampsia, preterm birth, placental issues, fatal cardiovascular events during or after birth. Let's see, non-medical factors also living areas with poor pollution, food, desserts, increasing health complications, lower access to prenatal care, transportation barriers, financial pressures cause delayed or doctor visits. So there's all these things. There's a couple more stuff, but um, a lot of the stuff seems to be health, physical, location, financial income, and stuff like that. At that point, where you do have the financial income, it just becomes a matter of in some instances, systematic racism and healthcare discrimination and stuff like that, and just not being aware of issues that happen with Black women. I think. I just don't know. I don't have all the details. I don't have all the information, but they say that's the case. So we can go with the information that we got. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.